Hello, and thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. We will have our news of the day soon, but we want to first head over to the weather department. Just an ongoing day of weather watching. Meteorologist Corrales is here. Corrales, what is the very latest?
Yeah, good afternoon. Weather watching is exactly what we've been doing. We've had bouts of not only several severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the early morning hours. Again, we've been dealing with this since about 2 or 3 o'clock when we first started to see our first tornado warnings in the area. And then there was a big gap where it was quiet, and then we started to see a few more pop-up warnings within the last 2 to 3 hours, which we did see just one finish wrapping up within the last half hour or so. So right now we're just dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings. There's a cold front making its way on through slowly. We're seeing some pretty strong winds. It looks like there was a severe thunderstorm warning that kind of dropped off for parts of Arkansas, Monroe, parts of Lonoke, and even parts of Jefferson County there. But those winds were as high as gusting at 60 miles per hour towards the east there. And we're going to continue to watch areas that have been kind of untouched from the severe weather. That includes parts of southeast Arkansas. You guys are just starting to see this first round with some showers and storms make their way on in. We're starting to see counties being dropped from the tornado watch. That includes us here in Pulaski County. We are out of that tornado watch. Eastern Arkansas still in it until at least 4 o'clock this afternoon, possibly even earlier, and they'll gradually be dropping more counties as that cold front pushes through. The severe weather threat is slowly diminishing. As you can see, temperatures are slowly going to begin to drop as that cooler air ushers in behind that, and then we'll mainly be dealing with some spotty rain chances into the evening hours, because that front is going to slow down, kind of park itself across to our east and just give us some bouts of on and off showers. But I have a better look at what to expect for the rest of our afternoon in terms of that severe weather threat with another full check of your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Corrales. Well, as Arkansans continue to pick up the pieces of their lives, many are doing so without electricity. Statewide, there are now just over 11,000 out. More than 5,000 of those customers are in Pulaski County. While the numbers are down to a little over 300 in Cross County, we will be keeping an eye out on outages around the state as storms move through the area. Now, as we continue to see, so many lives were affected by last week's tornadoes. So let's go back to when it was all unfolding. Our weather team was on air, all of us awestruck just seeing the tornado in broad daylight. A rare event, as Scott Coverts told us. A lot of the worst weather events here happened overnight. Now, yesterday, Scott recalled the events leading up to that storm. Speaking to the Little Rock Rotary Club, he says one decision in particular likely saved many, many lives. Take a listen.
Knowing the path of this storm, there's nothing going to stop it. And right before this storm, somebody at the National Weather Service in Little Rock decided, you know what, let's release a weather balloon. And that was a genius move. And you might think, releasing a balloon ahead of a storm, what good's that going to do? Well, we got some data from that, and what it told us is the environment that is right above Little Rock is a powder keg. If a storm moves through Little Rock, there's nothing that's going to stop it. And so using that data, seeing what was coming out of Saline County, they issued the tornado warning polygon. And let me just tell you, the men and the women at the National Weather Service in Little Rock are heroes. They made that decision that day to bypass their standard operating procedure, knowing what was coming, and they issued that warning. The average lead time on a tornado warning is 13 minutes. We gave upwards of 50 minutes notice that day, and I will always believe that 50 minutes saved a lot of lives.
And we absolutely agree. Now, in our hour of need, our neighbors are coming to help. The Cajun Navy, a Louisiana-based volunteer organization that aids in recovery efforts during natural disasters, is here in Little Rock. And as THV 11's Ashley Godwin shows us, they brought some helpers with them.
It broke my heart actually seeing the community in pieces like this. I was really hurt.
16-year-old Travius Bosley and his other youth challenge platoon were in science class when they saw the tornado rampage through Little Rock. They knew then they had to help their community.
We've been going house to house, helping, building, picking up trees, picking up limbs, cutting up stuff.
This one is, up there on my list, and I've been to a lot of them.
The Cajun Navy is also here, making the trip from out of state, helping with more than 100 volunteers. They're using specialized equipment to remove big trees from houses.
This area was definitely hit very hard. Even my own communities in Iowa were hit, but because of the amount of damage here versus the amount of damage there, we decided to make the call to come to Little Rock.
Working from morning to evening, lending a helping hand for those who need it most.
It makes me feel better in my heart that I feel like I could actually come out here, reach out to the community and help them.
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
Now, the students will be helping clean up again tomorrow. Cajun Navy will be here through the week, providing assistance to those who need it. We have that information on our website. That is thv11.com. Now, to make sure you're safe and prepared with all the up-to-date information as severe weather threats continue, now is the perfect time to download the THV11 app. It's available for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Former President Donald Trump is now a criminal defendant accused of falsifying business records, but as Nicole D'Antonio reports from Washington, the charges won't slow Mr. Trump as he runs for re-election to the White House.
Former President Donald Trump is facing an unprecedented challenge, defending himself in criminal court while running for president at the same time.
They can't beat us at the ballot box, so they try and beat us through the law.
Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Prosecutors said the charges arose from a series of hush money payments designed to suppress bad press that might have influenced the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump's attorney says the president has been put through a political persecution.
You're charging the president of the United States with crimes that will never be sustained in a court of law because they don't exist.
No matter who you are, we cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
Former President Trump is already incorporating the indictment into his strategy as he runs for re-election to the White House.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
The former president's supporters are rallying to his side, with the Trump campaign raising millions of dollars in new contributions. The campaign even offered a T-shirt with a phony mugshot.
Unlikely he would ever go to jail. He's never been convicted before, and these are lower level felonies. It wouldn't prevent him from running for president or being president.
The extra attention could also make it harder for other Republican challengers to defeat the former president for the GOP nomination. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Now, former President Trump could speak to supporters again soon. He's scheduled to speak at the NRA convention in Indianapolis next week. Well, now to a THV 11 update just into the newsroom. Newport police have arrested an additional 2 people in the Frito Bain concert shooting. The February 5th incident left 1 dead and many more wounded. Today, 21-year-old Tashawn Harris and 18-year-old Stephen Dye, both of Searcy, were charged with first-degree murder and terrorist act charges, along with many others. They join Aaron Warren and Richard McGee, who were arrested back in February. The investigation is still ongoing. Now, closer to home, a man is in jail today following an arrest by Little Rock police. 35-year-old DeAndre Rutley was arrested yesterday in connection to a Friday night homicide on South Pulaski Street. Rutley is facing a charge of first-degree murder and is being held without bond. And the sheriff of Scott County will no longer stand trial. The special prosecutor handling the case against Sheriff Randy Shores has now dropped the charges. He was charged as an accomplice in the use of excessive force by a Waldron police officer during a violent arrest last year. At the time, prosecutors said he had a duty to intervene, but now they've changed their tune, saying the sheriff himself was never given proper training. According to court documents, Sheriff Shores will now have to keep up with ongoing training on the use of excessive force. Meanwhile, the court date for Johnson County Sheriff Jimmy Stevens is now set for July. Sheriff Stevens faces drug and gun charges in Crawford County after being arrested with drugs in his patrol car in December. Stevens claims he had been visiting a confidential informant. He has pleaded not guilty. And now we have some sad news to report. Pine Bluff police have announced the passing of one of their own, Officer Crystal Wyrick. In a message posted to Facebook, the agency bid farewell to Wyrick, who was a 5-year veteran with the department and assigned to the patrol division. Officers from around the area were on hand yesterday to escort Officer Wyrick back from the state crime lab to Pine Bluff. Now our thoughts and prayers are with Officer Wyrick's family, friends, and the Pine Bluff Police Department. Now turning to education, a state House committee passed a bill to change the computer science education requirements. The bill emphasizes career and technical education courses for high school students and removes the requirement for students to earn a credit in a computer science course before graduation. Opponents argue that the bill puts Arkansas standing as a national leader in computer science education at risk, which could hurt students' job market competitiveness. Supporters say the bill would allow students to get an education more tailored to specific industries such as nursing, agriculture, logistics, or construction. Now, the bill now goes to the House floor for consideration. Still ahead, a new study shows meditation can help relieve migraines. In just 6 minutes, we'll share how the practice's life-changing benefits. And Corrales, what are you seeing in the weather?
Well, we are still continuing to track some showers and storms in the area, but the severe weather threat is slowly beginning to diminish as this main threat is shifting towards the east. So I'll have a better look at that timeline, what to expect for the rest of our Wednesday, and when are we really in the clear? More on that coming up.
Thank you. And just a reminder, THV 11 is making it easy to help our neighbors in need. Just text the word GIVE to 501-376-1111 and get a list of the things you can do for Arkansans who have been impacted by Friday's tornadoes. We'll be right back.